The 14th of January, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Hamayim Shotkim, it's quiet. V'korim, and it wraps Tachat Hasfat underneath the
Shochakim.
What?
Shochek. It's a ches there.
Shochek. Well, plays with it, but what is playing with it? You got to do with it.
No. Amayim shochakim b'korin tachas hasafa umis pashetz b'toch hasoda.
Yeah, it wraps. Kochorchim is it wraps around under the lip, spread among the field.
I'll be right back.
Again, what is that? What is that? What did you say?
It's somehow getting underneath it and flooding the field. You know, it spreads out from where it is.
Shochakim b'korin tachas hasafa. The water is shochakim and it's korin, digging under tachas hasafa, underneath the lip, the bank of the river. Umispashet b'toch hasada, and it's spreading in the midst of the field. Why can't we say that it's is the water is going on top of the field? I don't know why you have to say it's going flowing under.
It can, there is a place that it can go underneath also. Underneath it can catch both ways. It doesn't have to flood only the top, overflow from the top. It can also go underneath things and create problems.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just wondering why Rashi chose to describe the flooding in this way and not in what I would understand to be the more common and normal way to flood it from the top.
It'd do more damage if it's below, though. That's undermining the field, and it could be more permanent damage than going on top.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And who's the one who's saying Harei Shalcha Lefanecha? So now we know that the field is the subject of this statement Harei Shalcha Lefanecha.
I don't. There's a whole question about how does one steal a field? To me, how can you? You can use it, but the question is, what do you mean stealing a field? A field is karka, and it should be that the karka can't be just. How do you steal karka from somebody? It still should belong to somebody else.
Right. Right. But that's what we must be talking about. We're saying that the Goslin is that's what the Gemora is going to talk about this. Tan Rabbanan hagozel sada mechavero v'shot v'nahar. So the Brisa speaks out more explicitly what this Mishnah that we have here is talking about.
Yeah, well, the Art Scroll's words is like that too. He's not able, when he says Halei is before you, it's your field. It says for the land cannot actually be stolen even after the thief takes it, which I don't know how it's going to be stolen. It remains in the owner's possession, so therefore the land is owned. It's his loss, which is when he says Harei le, it's your problem, not mine. So in what ways are we talking about him saying that that a robber with a field. How can you have a robber with a field?
So maybe it means he's a goslin in the sense that he's robbing him of the usage of the field.
Yeah.
He's denying him usage of the field, and now the field that's what makes him a goslin. But he's not able to make an acquisition on the field like somebody that steals movable property, because there's no way to make an acquisition on a field as a goslin. So in that sense, it can't be stolen. That it now is put in his domain of the goslin, and so now that it gets washed out, so he doesn't have to give him another field. According to the Mishnah, he can say to him, "Here's your field. I'm giving back the right to usage to you, to the field. I'm giving it back to you. So here, take it." And he's not obligated to give him a different field, even though now this field would appear to be useless. Let's see what the Gemora says. Want to read the Gemora?
Mario, here. Well, it's still gone.
Yeah.
We taught in the bright. We taught there. Hagozel, if the thief Omar says, "Lo to him, Hari Shalach Lifanecha is yours." In what case are we talking about? What case are we talking about? That is that we're whatchamacallit, that we are arguing about. Rabbi Eliezer or Darash Eliezer says, "Review mute." It's a question of a generalization and a specification. Okay, so what does it mean to be a generalization and a specification? Okay.
Oh, the Gemara is asking, right? The case of this dispute is clear. The Brisa said, "Gozel sada mechavero," a guy steals a field from his friend, and then shatva nahar, then the river destroys it. So now the question is he liable to give him another field? So the Tana of the Brisa, the Tana Kama says, Chayav lamid lo sadeh acher. He's obligated, the Goslin, to provide him another field. Divrei Rabbi Eliezer, that's what Rabbi Eliezer holds, not like our Mishnah. Omrim lo. You could say the Goslin could say to the owner of the field, here, I'm returning you your field.
Oh.
So now the Gemara asks, what's the basis of the machloikas over here between Rabbi Eliezer and the Chachamim? Why does Rabbi Eliezer say he's got to give him another field? And the Chachamim say, no, he can just say, here's your field right here. This flooded field, it's useless now. I can give it to you, and good luck with it. That's a very big nafkamina in halacha over here between Rabbi Eliezer and Chachamim. So what is the underpinnings of their legal dispute over here? Okay, b'makim so now we're gonna get into it's gonna be a machloikis in how they're gonna darshan a pasuk. How are they gonna darshan this pasuk? And maybe there's gonna be a machloikis about which pasuk you got a darshan. One might say, "Oh, look at this pasuk. Here's the source for my view." And he says, "Yeah, but what about this pasuk over there? This is source for my view." Okay, so b'makom efligi. So Rabbi Eliezer Dorash riboy umiut. He darshans. So this is a type of a method of derivation to darshan psukim called a riboy umiut. And this is a pasuk. You got this pasuk over here. It's a pasuk in Vayikra. We're going to have to go get a Sefer Vayikra. It sounds like they're arguing about psukim in Sefer Vayikra. Okay. Be back in a moment with Sefer Vayikra. Okay, so it looks like Rebbe Eliezer is Doresh from a pasuk in Vayikra, Perik Hey, pasuk Chaf Aleph. Perik Hey. Chaf Aleph. Vaydaber Hashem Moshe le'emor nefesh ki secheta umalo mal b'Hashem v'kichesh b'amiso v'pikadon o b'sesumas yad o b'gozel o oshak es amisoy. Okay, so somebody who did a hate, umal amal b'Hashem, he's guilty of me'ila, of using something which is hektish for secular purposes. Okay, the kichesh b'miso, and he denies kichesh. He denies a claim of his fellow Jew in regard to a pikadon, a deposited item, obasumas yad, or some other type of a situation. Rashi says in a case of a loan, obagozel, there we go. Or a matter of gezel. Rashi says, shigozel miyado klumi. He stole something from him. Sifsei Chachamim says, Ratzon Eloima Shaloi Tama O Begezel Ugam Ken Kikvar Haya Biyodo Beheter Uhu Toveya Biyodo Beinenu Meishivlo Ato. Okay, fine. Let's go back to the Gemora over here. What are we saying over here? Kichesh bamiso. So that phrase of the pasuk is going to be designated as the riboy part of the pasuk. That's the riboy. And then it says bepikadam. That's a mute in the pasuk. Oh boy! And then we go to a pasuk, not this pasuk. We gotta go to a pasuk in a different, a few psukim away in Chavdalad to get the next part of this drasha. It's spanning over a few psukim over here. Kol asher yishava elov l'shaker chazav b'riba riba v'miyet v'riba riba hakol. Oh boy, this is what we needed to get to on Sunday morning. Wow. All right, so why on earth did this pasuk have anything to do with the case that the Bryce is telling us about? I do not know. Other than the fact that it has something to do with a stolen item. But it wasn't a deposited item. Okay, kichesh ba'miso, and we don't see anywhere where. Well, I mean, what does it have to do with denying him anything? Where do we see that this Goslin was denying him? I mean, he was denying him the possession of the property. It's hard to figure out. Okay, but in any case, this is Rabbi Eliezer. He's saying that this is the relevant pasuk over here that supports his view that the Goslin is going to have to give him another field. Kol asher yishava alav l'shaker chazar. Now, where do we see that that he swore to anything over here? This Goslin chazar v'riba, meaning anything, not only something that was a pekadon or something that was not a deposited item. Riba kol, everything now becomes included in the designation of this case. Not only deposited items, but other items as well. Okay, because this is the way this drasha works. It's called a riboy miut riboy. This is what we find sometimes in the Torah, that the Torah can be the psukim of the Torah can be interpreted according to this midah of interpretation called a riboy miut and riboy. Of course, these midos are also from the Torah. They're also part of what Hashem gave to Moshe Rabbeinu on Har Sinai. It's not something that was this mode of derivation was given to Moshe Rabbeinu on Har Sinai, and Rabbi Eliezer is making use of it over here. His Rebbe probably gave him over this as a tradition, that this is the way that that we darshan this pasuk over here. And somehow we are trying to figure out that based upon the fact that Rabbi Eliezer holds that this is the derivation and it's Ribi Hakol, that therefore that will explain why it is in this case, he's got to give him another field. That is going to need some explanation. And that is not forthcoming from Rashi that I see. So, okay. What are we going to say about this? Wow. I'm assuming that the Gemora is going to develop its explanation. Wow. It's really leaving us in the dark, basically, the Gemora. And Rashi's not giving any help. What's going on over here? We're left in the dark over here. What's going on? Well, the Gemara is continuing over here with the discussion of this drasha of Rabbi Eliezer. Let's okay, let's okay, let's hear let's hear what Art Scroll has to say. Let's start from B'mai Kamifligi. Rabbi Eliezer Dorash. How do they explain it?
Want me to read?
Yes.
Okay, in what point do they disagree? Rabbi Eliezer Darash ribuye u miute. Rabbi Eliezer explains amplification and limitation. V'chi chesh ba mi so ribui. And he lies to his fellow is an amplification. Bifikadon mi eight. Regarding the deposit, it's a limitation. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see. If they're talking about, they're talking about this pasuk. If a person sins and commits a treachery against Hashem, and he lies to his fellow regarding a deposit or a loan or a stolen article, or he defrauds his fellow, or he found a lost object and denies it, and he swore falsely about any of the things that a person can do and sin thereby, and it shall be when he repents having sinned and become guilty, he shall return the stolen article that he stole, or the proceeds of his fraud, or the deposit that was left with him, or the lost object that he found, or regarding anything about which he had sworn falsely, he shall repay its principal and add its fifth to it. He shall give it to its owner on the day he admits his guilt. That's the pasuk. Now,
What is this? This pasuk is talking about somebody who swore falsely. What's this pasuk have to do with our case? Where do we see that this Goslin swore falsely? It's very wow.
okay, you got me.
Okay, so let's okay, so that's what Rebbe Eliezer is putting forth this pasuk over here, which is it's really a combination of pasuk chaf aleph and pasuk chaf daled, and he's saying that that you have a we can darshan this pasuk in a riboy miut riboy fashion. That's the method of derivation called there's the you see a in the first part of the psukim over here. There's a all inclusive. It says kichesh bamiso in regard to any item that he denies. He makes a denial that in regard to the claim of the claimant who's claiming against him. So that's the riboy. That would include any item that he's makhish, and then it says in the pasuk pikadon. So then it says, oh, we're only talking about pikadon. That's the miut. And then we go to a different pasuk in Chavdalid, and we say kol asher yeshava alav l'shaker, for everything that he swore falsely against, seemingly contradicting that it's only talking about pikadon. No, we're talking about every type of a thing. That's the chaz of a riba. The drasha we see over there is subsequently coming back and saying a riboy, which all inclusive. The application of the drasha is all inclusive to all things. So we conclude and we say riba ubiyet riba hakol. That's the rule when it comes to denial of an item. It's going to include every item that has been that there is a denial of. The din, like it says in this pasuk, will be applicable. It's not only applicable in a case of pikadon or this case or that case. So it's applicable all over. Except that we still don't really understand what's got to do with us, because it seems like the whole thing is talking about somebody that swore falsely. But we'll leave that one on the side. And we will, I guess we'll continue. Umay Rabbe. Phil, you want to take over?
Where are we going to do my Rabbi? My Rabbi? Rebbe
Yeah.
or Rabbi? It says Rabbi. And what does it
My
include?
Rabbi.
My Rabbi. My Rabbi. What does it include? Rabbi call me. It includes everything.
Really? Includes everything.
And that's and the Rashi on that says vifilu karkaot, even land. The shvua for an oath, cheshbon, and for calculations.
The Hishavon. Oh. Maybe Rashi's telling us we don't need to say that we're talking about he swore falsely. Maybe it just means even if he didn't swear falsely, but he just needs to return it. what he stole. And even this will be applicable in the case of karka. That's why it's a ribuy kol. Even karka, which we said before, karka, technically speaking, is not stealable. You can't become the owner of you can't make a kinyan in the karka, a gazlan, similar to the way a gazlan can make a kinyane gezela in terms of an item that's movable. To make a kinyan in order to make him responsible if something happens to it. Like if this would have happened to a movable item and it gets washed out, so I don't think there'd be a machlokes over here between Rabbi Eliezer and the Chachamim. They both agree it's now the problem of the gazlan. He's got to give back that item that he stole that was now considered in his possession because he made a kinyan on it. Even though he had an obligation to return it, but it's considered to be in his possession that he made a kinyan in it, unlike karka, and therefore, if something happened to it, he'd be liable. He couldn't just say, "Harei shalcha lefanecha," here it is, take it back. I don't have to give you another one. I'm giving you this thing. But over here, since we're talking about karka, we got a machlokes, Rabbi Eliezer and Chachamim, that the Chachamim say doesn't have to give him back another one. Okay, so in other words, according to Rabbi Eliezer, this pasuk is Rabbi Kol, even karka, you can give back in this way and say, here it is, it's right here, take it. And that's because, yeah, okay. Oh, and so what is it being mamayit? Umay miyet. And with this, we'll conclude because it's 12:30. Gemora says, "My miyet shtaros."
Miyat shtaros, the documents. The Rashi says miyat shtaros. She'ein gufan uman, because that is not something that's mamon. The hivlei, you'll give them the hivlei nero ba'alma, because it's just paper.
Right. A shtar is not gufon mammon. It's not like an item that has an intrinsic value to it. It's just a piece of paper. What's the difference between this piece of paper and that other piece of paper over there? Oh, there's a big difference, you'll tell me. Because this piece of paper says, I owe you $1 million. And the other piece of paper says nothing on it. It just says, go get tomatoes and go get potatoes. And what's the difference? It's all paper. Because neither one of them has any intrinsic monetary value. So such a thing like that, even an IOU note, would not come under the purview of this pasuk based upon the miut of there's a miut, an exclusion in this pasuk it's excluding a category of items that could be stolen. So we'll talk more about that Bezrat Hashem tomorrow.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay, take care.
All the best, everybody.